This is Jennifer Selleck with Performance Marketing Insider, and I'm here with Rich Gorman. And can you tell me a little bit about your sales force and kind of like how you created your sales team?
Sure. So this is one of our offers, and we've created a number of sales teams, worked on a number of different call centers. So in this particular space, it's a CPL campaign, and it requires either a one-call close or sometimes there's a multiple-week or multiple-month lifetime cycle. And so we have dedicated agents that focus on the leads and are able to work them from beginning to end, and essentially develop rapport with the prospects.
Can you tell me more about how they're able to close and what's the best way to close an offer?
Sure. So I think that's a great question. So one of the best ways to close an offer is to get people to like you. So in businesses and anything else in life, people like to do business with people they like. And so utilizing Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People tactics, it really just comes down to age-old principles of sincerely appreciating other people, showing other people that you are interested in themselves versus yourself. So on sales calls, we typically like to focus on our customer and like to focus the entire conversation around how we can help our customer out and help benefit them. So Dale Carnegie's tactics were pretty awesome. And basically at the end of the day, it comes down to getting people to sincerely like you. And the easiest way to do that is to talk about them, right? And so we spend a lot of time talking to our prospects about their lives and ways that we can help improve their lives. And as such, we develop a good level of rapport with them. Other things that are really important is just making sure that you understand that during a sales call, there's an arc, and it starts with point A, which is the open, and point B, which is the close. Very simple. And so during the calls, oftentimes consumers will try to take you out to left field, and they'll want to talk about things that may not be relevant about the sale. And so it's important to bring them back to the sales arc and head towards B, which is the close. And so we do that very politely. Often we use transition bridges, where we will basically acknowledge their concern or acknowledge what we're talking about, and then bring them back towards building value to our services or to our products and move towards the close. And it's extremely important that you never get caught up on sales calls in a lot of unnecessary conversation that is not really going to benefit the consumer, and it's a waste of time. But at the same time, there's a fine line because you have to have your pleasantries and niceties, or else you're not able to establish a level of rapport that's necessary to establish trust with the consumer and then eventually close them.
In a case where someone is quite difficult and you're kind of wondering if you can make the close, is there specific techniques that will kind of help you get to that point?
It's a great question. So there's a technique that I utilize often. It's called the talking meatloaf head. And so when someone's giving us a difficult time, or I'm on the phone with a prospect and they're putting me through the ringer and yelling at me, screaming at me, I never get angry or mad. I just view them as a talking meatloaf head, and I just take a bite out of them because they're feeding my family. And so at the end of the day, it's pretty easy. It's it's just a matter of understanding that look, people may be having a frustrating day. Maybe something happened to them, and if you don't take it personal, you should never take it personal. It's just a matter of keeping it positive and being that fun son versus the fun sponge. Fun son is people that you're around, you pick them up, and you're fun to be around, you increase their energy level, you stay positive, you're empathetic, you sympathize with their challenges, versus a fun sponge who someone that's negative, and you fall into that level of negativity and you bring the whole tempo down. And so you want to be that person that they want to call and talk to at the end of the day, because you're the fun sponge, you're the fun son, and as such they look forward to hearing your voice and talking to you, and it helps you bring the call to a close. I'll tell you a number of times we work with a world-class team. Our team members will receive things in the mail, like presents in the mail, or thank you cards, or Christmas gifts, or Christmas cards, and it's a testament to the fact that our team's established rapport with that prospect, which has now become a customer, and keeps that rapport going through the lifetime of our campaign.
Is there any specific story that kind of comes to mind when you think of a sales offer that you made that kind of was difficult or challenging?
Yeah, there is actually one that sticks out. So I had a prospect that I was dealing with this is years ago, It took over 8 months to close this deal, and usually it would have taken 2 to 3 weeks. And so a number of times we would have scheduled calls, and this individual would miss the scheduled call, or when we did have scheduled calls, they quickly and abruptly end the call because they were busy. And at the end of the day, I understood that this individual was very busy, had a very hectic schedule. And so it's just a matter of not losing your cool and understand that, hey, look, if it's not going to benefit you, don't do it, right? And so it wouldn't have benefited us to, me in that case, to get mad at that prospect, to take it personal. Instead, I respected his schedule. And just stayed very persistent, and eventually the deal closed. It's funny, I was actually taking my daughter out to a movie, and on the way to the movie theater, I got a call from him, and I was like, oh wow, my God, unbelievable. I'm actually getting a call back, right? And he was ready to jam, and so I took his credit card over the phone, and we ended up bringing on the campaign, and he's still a client today. So yeah, we were very excited about that, and there were times, like, I got to be very candid with you. There were times where naturally you're like, oh man, I just want to send him an email back and say, look, you missed like 7 of our appointments, so let's not do business together. But at the end of the day, that's not going to benefit you. And what's the purpose? So the deal ended up coming through, and I was very excited. It's a great deal we did. Worked very hard on that one.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope to learn more about sales, and maybe if there's any other questions or anything that people can write, and we can do another interview.
Great. Thanks
Thank
a lot,
you
Jennifer.
so
I
much.
appreciate it.